Brought to you by Alman Auctions, the worldwide leader in antique tractor auctions.
New Holland balers rank as the hayfield icon of the past 70 years. If you were raised on a farm or ranch in America, you may very well have handled hundreds of bales kicked out by those eye-catching red and yellow machines.
New Holland is in Pennsylvania, Amish country up there in Lancaster County, and they've been there forever. They're still there today. New Holland hay equipment is second to none. They've got very good equipment. New Holland baler in some cases could bale twice as much as some of the competitors. It was very impressive.
Paul Lano's fever for these baling beauties can be traced back to his childhood. His father started a New Holland dealership more than 60 years ago in Minnesota, and Paul and his brothers run the place today. He not only sells New Holland equipment, he's also a collector of the classics.
My wife says it's not really a fever. She thinks it's an illness, and I think I have it. So I like old equipment, and when I was raised as a kid, we were implement dealers, and I got to see a lot of it in those days, and I like to collect it.
Headlining Paul's collection is this ultra-rare 1965 Model 1281 Self-Propelled. New Holland only made 430 of these, which were used mostly on big farm operations in the Rocky Mountain states. This one is powered by a 172 cubic inch Ford industrial engine, the same as used in 800 and 900 series tractors at the time.
This one, back in 1965, had a lot of the features you see on the newer balers, the super sweep pickup with the narrow spacing, the hydraulic pickup, so you wouldn't have to get off to raise and lower it. This unit has a Hydrophematic, which is an automatic bale tension system, which is still sold in the new balers today. The knotters are back on the top, where on the 77 they're on the side, which is similar to what they had years ago when they sat and tied bales by hand. And the quarter-turn bale chute would be used in what we see automatic bale wagons using today. All right, this is the full suspension seat, which I believe I read they bought from the Oliver Company. Very similar to the seat used on that 66 right over there. The gear shift transmission, you can see lightly there, the 3 speeds. It's in first now, reverse, second and third. Starts with the key, push button, light switch. We have a hydraulic pickup, we have variable speed, we have the throttle, the choke, and all the common gauges. The platform is quite large and plenty of room for a person to either stand or sit while you operate this baler. The clutch pedal and right and left brakes are able to be operated either sitting or standing, and plenty spacious with the grab handle all the way around.
Paul's collection also includes a 1951 Super 77 baler. These were usually powered by a Wisconsin V4 engine, but Paul's is a rare PTO-driven version. Very early New Holland balers had a left-hand pickup. This is the first one with it on the right.
The pickup on the 77 was on the right-hand side of the baler. The prior model 76 had a left hand, and most of the equipment that we operate today, you look over your right shoulder. So that was a big improvement. On this model, the pickup elevated the hay up to the top. It was augered over, and then again the stuffer pushed it down into the bale chamber. This large stuffer, 50 times a minute, the plunger goes back and forth, and when the plunger is back, the stuffer then would push the hay in, and this was a very easy baler to identify out in the field when you've seen that stuffer going up and down. The knotters on this baler are vertical on the side of the baler, and the balers prior to this that were a person would ride and manually tie the hay were tied on the side. So the first balers, the 76 and 77, had the knotters on the side.
A 1956 Model 68 rounds out Paul's classic baler collection. It's the smallest of the group, but don't let the size fool you. Paul says this little mighty mite had no trouble keeping up with the big boys.
That baler could keep up bale for bale with the larger 77 baler. The difference was this made a little smaller bale. It made the 14 by 16 instead of a 14 by 18, but bales in a day for a much smaller, easier pulling baler, it was a very good capacity baler. The 68 was a very good baler for New Holland, and holding on to one of them is a nice thing to do.
So now we know about Paul's classic balers, and at the 20th Orange Spectacular, we visited with Paul about his rare AC 190 high crop tractor. But there's yet another part of his collection that Paul is awfully proud of.
Well, I have another bad habit. I like collecting toys, and being an old Alice and Oliver dealer, those tend to be my favorites. So the office holds about 350 toys, so that's what I have in here. And of course the Alice and Oliver, and then when New Holland and Ford came along, we collect those as well. Some of the toys I grew up with as a child are the 190 XT Alice's and the 1850 Olivers, and those finding those in nice shape can be rather expensive, but those are the nice ones to collect.
Today, the New Holland brand still thrives with balers and hay equipment shipped around the world. Despite the company's years of success, classic hay machinery hasn't yet developed as big a following as classic tractors. However, Paul says his terrific trio of balers turns heads when he takes them to shows.
You know, the tractors are one thing, but you don't see a lot of equipment restored, and that's why maybe the balers really stand out at the shows. It's a very popular piece when I take it to a show or a parade. You know, a lot of people didn't realize they ever built something like that. You know, people appreciate American-made stuff, and everything we do in America seems to be big, and New Holland balers are big. They can eat some hay.